Max Inc. Radio for the people. Donk there from the album Waiting to be Sued. I like that title, guys. That's awesome. That was from what year, Falcon? The Bomblastica
2007.
2007, where you did the whole Doors. Donk is in the Bastard Den. Welcome, gentlemen. I'm Jimmy K along with E-Dub. And guys, welcome to the Bastard Den once again.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Actually, it's Donk's first time here, actually.
Indeed.
Let's go around the room and introduce yourselves. Falcon, we'll start with you. What do you do in the band?
I am the Falcon. I play guitar and sing.
I'm the Baron. I play bass and do stuff.
I'm Bones. I'm a returning alumni drummer.
Returning alumni driver.
Right.
And we'll talk about that here in a minute. But
there's a lot of controversy about that.
For sure. Falcon, Donk's been around for, 15 years now? That's what Rocker was telling me, about 15 years.
Something like that, in one form or another. I think maybe like 13 or 14. But I know Chris is... the only two originals are myself and Whoopi, our sax player, who could not be here tonight. Skiing accident, But
we'll go with that.
But the Baron has been in the band for 10 years though now, and Mike was actually our second drummer. So
tell us a little bit. I mean, for people like I know of you guys. I've seen one or two shows, but I don't know a lot about the band itself, so it kind of gives a little insight what Donk is.
Good question.
Donk's been called a lot of things. maybe too many things.
Maybe too many things. I think we're an original rock band, and we draw from a lot of influences, probably too many influences at the same time, and sometimes all in the same song. We try to do a lot of things. I like to think that we put a bunch of styles of music and we kind of put them into a blender, and then what comes out is Donk. I don't know. Sometimes it's rock, sometimes it's reggae. I like funk, but it's all
when you have a full-time sax player, it lends itself to a lot of styles. So it's like we'll hit the funk, and then we'll hit something people would call jazz, and then it's like ska,
surf rock, right?
Surf rock,
right? Or the saxophone player,
and that's just one song, and then the next one is completely different.
Right, and the next one is punk with rock, and then we'll throw in a little bit of Jethro Tull just for the fun of it.
So one might call it eclectic.
Psychedelic klezmer
description, perhaps. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, eclectic, or what we really like is demented rock. That's like because people always ask us, like every paper, every time you're in the paper, they're like, "Well, how do you want to be billed? What do you guys play?" And we're like, we tell them like a different thing every time. And then finally, someone said demented rock, and we're like, yeah, that's really good. So I've been trying to like stick with that because it's like I can fall back on.
You're trying to coin the genre.
I guess, yeah.
Except it'll just be you guys.
Probably so. Us
Top of the genre. That's us. Right.
Us and Dr. Demento.
Bones, tell us a little bit about your old practice spot at the Marcus Print Shop.
Oh,
which of course is now the current day High Noon Saloon.
We used to practice there back in the day when it was a I don't know what you'd want to call it really, but it was an underground in and out.
A lot of ins, a lot of outs.
A lot of ins, a lot of outs. Let's just put it that way. Yeah.
Do you know any of those guys? Any of those print shop guys?
Not personally, no.
Okay.
Good, we can talk about them then.
Oh God, talk away.
I don't know
man.
where you came up with that, but you do great research. We
know people.
We did used to practice in that very spot, and it was pretty wild. The greatest thing about that practice spot is that it had a ramp. And we had a 2-wheel cart, and we throw all our big boxes, our big amps and shit on the 2-wheel cart and go right up the ramp and right in the door. And rock bands, you're so used to playing in like basements and all these effed up places.
So you're sloughing gear all over the place.
Upstairs, that's the worst thing.
Yeah.
So like we thought we were like in that, and we had 24/7 access. I mean, we couldn't come in there during the day when they're running the print shop, but like. I can remember coming in there after bar, 4 in the morning. You wouldn't always be alone, There'd be people there partying. It was pretty crazy. It's amazing. The greatest moment from that thing, and I still have the note, was when we bought this pair of PA speakers from some guy that dudes in the print shop knew. And then one night we come in there and there's a note on the speakers that says, "Hey band guys, I need money because we hadn't paid for the speakers. I mean, I think we gave him something down or whatever, but we hadn't paid for them yet. But I clipped that off. I still have it in a folder upstairs.
That's awesome.
And that's got to be 10 years ago now. So
L Donk is in the Bastard Den here on Max Inc. Radio, 414-455-4DEN. If you want to ask L Donk a question, we'll get you on the air. Hey, Baron, L Donk has quite the cult following. Explain that following as how you see it.
Well, it's completely manufactured, and deliberately by us. It's we call ourselves a cult, a band and a cult, and some of that came out of our rock opera about Waco and the Branch Davidians, because it's a convenient marriage between, there's a cat trying to get in these Doritos. Hey, it's all over my Doritos. That's not good.
He's part of the production crew. Just let him do what he's doing.
Well, that's what she said.
It's better than Doritos than your ankle or something like that.
But it just ties in very nicely with all the stories that have circulated about El Donk over the years, and the things that we've planted into the mainstream media about us, and the fact that no one knows our real names until Falcon blows them on the air like he did a few minutes ago.
Yeah, thanks, Falcon.
Yeah, I know. I'm the witness protection.
Well, we do have the Craven. We do have the Craven image. We have the Golden Donkey.
Well, and to be fair, the rock opera is not like BS. I mean, that's a real thing.
It's a true story.
It's a
the
true
truth of our material.
They are all true stories, but that one's even truer. Like it was on TV and stuff.
And this is idol number 3 now. We've had 2 stolen thus far.
Well, can you blame the people? I don't blame them a bit.
Well, there is a real golden donkey. That's what he means. The idol.
Yeah, the golden donkey is the golden donkey of love, really.
This is the 3rd one.
It's a benevolent donkey.
All I can say is anyone who would want to steal one of the donkeys has to be a true follower.
Absolutely. I wonder where they are now. We should put a track.
I assume they're being.
What to put an APB out
I'm
for?
going to put a chip in this one.
I'm just going to guess that you might not want to know where they are.
That's a good point. Where they've been,
I'm just going to assume they're being worshipped as they should be.
Well, whatever that means.
It's like a Buddha, only it's a donkey.
Right. Yeah, actually, yeah.
You rub the donkey's belly.
Yes.
You'll have good luck
it's not
forever.
so much worshiping him as worshiping at him.
Right. And when people have kissed and licked and, oh my God. Yeah, like you wouldn't want to know.
Well, we always carry antiseptic wipes.
But now we do.
Though.
Yes. And hard alcohol.
That works too.
Falcon, you guys have, as you've kind of alluded to a little bit with Bones here, kind of a Spinal Tap thing going on with your drummer situation.
I'm a little nervous. I've got a good life insurance policy.
What? I don't know. I'm done trying to be tactful. What is up with that?
Well, the drummer always to me in a rock band is always kind of like the X factor. They're always like, and like Mike is such a nice guy for a drummer. That's the thing, for a drummer, because the drummers are usually like the crazy guy or like the guy that no one gets along with, or like we had a drummer that used to do like push-ups. Like he'd get bored, so he'd just start doing push-ups. This is another band. Oh, this is just some other band. So we had an original drummer, Red X-Boy, and then he ran amok with the law and himself and some other things, and so he ended up moving. And he might have been exiled or something. He might have been deported out of Wisconsin. Yeah, but
I think he might have been asked to leave.
And then Mike joined the band, but then Mike moved out to LA with another band.
Sorry.
So
not that you're harboring ill feelings.
No, and we're really not. We weren't. We
only harbor ill feelings towards 90% of the drummers.
So then we had Fastlane, and he was a really good technical drummer, and but. He ended up leaving the band, and
maybe it's you.
It probably is me.
Well, if you ask Fastlane, it was you.
Probably.
If you ask any of the drummers, it's probably you.
And that's why there's such a great picture of him.
The problem is probably that you've lived with so many of the drummers.
Right.
Never.
I'm not going to bring up issues of personal hygiene, but I've heard things.
Yeah, you never want to live with any of your bandmates. Put it that way.
Not one to point fingers, Falcon, but
right. But yeah, so.
Happy circumstance, really.
Happy circumstance.
Bones came back.
Mm-hmm. It was.
He still knew a bunch of the songs. It was awesome.
So what did bring you back?
The band that I moved out to LA with imploded almost immediately, and then I, of course,
maybe it was the drummer.
It was.
See, Mike didn't play drums in that band, though.
Oh, okay.
That's true. But that's a different story.
Was not the drummer.
Because he wanted to play guitar. We were talking about that.
He was playing
No.
guitar.
I was playing guitar.
Again, a different story. So anyway, yeah, that fell through, and I stayed out there for a while and just putzed around basically, and then finally moved back. And at the time, they were still working with Buzz, who did a great job, I thought. And then it just seemed like Buzz had a lot of stuff going on, and you guys did too. And then something happened. I don't know exactly
What happened was
ways kind of thing. And
Brett Favre
Baron threw a fit.
threw a fit, but then Brett Favre retired.
Right.
And Buzz always said that if Brett Favre retired, he would go on tour with his other band, Benevolent Elephant.
Was that the first time Favre retired, or?
That was at least the third time.
Yeah, the
Third
third
time.
time. So by the time the third time he retired, we're like, okay, you got to do it now. You
Right.
got to go, and he had to go. So, but
You know,
So you almost make it sound like you were waiting for Brett Favre to retire. You don't have to respond if you don't want to. We can just let that go.
It was inevitable.
I don't think
put it
that. I don't
way.
think that was the case, but that's from an outsider's perspective.
yeah,
Right.
I think he did a fine job.
Yeah, he did.
But
Absolutely.
we probably, I guess, is what you would say is differences of a bit or no,
Creative differences.
creative differences.
Sure,
right.
sure.
That's I think in band terms it'd be creative differences. Yeah.
And I was there, and I was doing nothing at all. So they
So you were
re-employed me
devoid of
again.
creativity,
Nothing
therefore
at all.
devoid of differences, and able to
Basically, yeah, I'm fairly stoic, and I just
Nothing
do
at
what I'm
all.
told.
He never disagrees,
What I'm
which I
told.
like.
we're creating controversy here all of a
Nothing
sudden.
at all.
Bastard.
I'm just having fun with it.
See,
Well
this is how
done.
the cult rumors get started.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
we're
man.
helping you out then, right?
So you guys, Falcon, you gave me some CDs the other day.
Yes.
Awesome,
You should
man.
have sold him those, by the way.
Yeah, I'll have my people talk to your people about that. Okay.
That's right. That's right.
The two cover CDs, the one with the Doors, we played a song earlier, and also one with Pink Floyd, which we're going to play a song off. Tell us about those songs, and what is it like covering some of your favorite bands? Like you've done those two, Pink Floyd, the Doors. I know you've done Neil Young from The Pinch.
Correct. And David Bowie.
And David Bowie.
right.
So what is it when you do tributes like that?
It's pretty humbling because when you compare your versions to their versions, at some point you're just kind of like, huh. But really fun. I mean, it's like it's kind of like a dream, you know. Like I remember the first Pink Floyd show we did, which is where we actually did the entire metal album, and this was a Bomb Blast.
I was actually,
And Mike was Mike played drums in that. I didn't give you that CD, but I do have those CDs of that entire show. But it was Rocker was like, what Pink Floyd album would you play if you could play any album? Well, I said Obscured by Clouds, just because I love
a little too
I
obscure.
love that song Childhood's End, and there's some really good stuff in there. But it was a little too obscure. He's like, well, what do you think about metal? I'm like, yeah, all right, I could do that. But it's a really fun challenge, and especially with our instrumentation, guitar, bass, drum, sax. Obviously, Pink Floyd is a 4-piece with a keyboard. Just being able to arrange that material for our personnel was a challenge in and of itself, and it was fun. And you know, being able to play music that you love when you were a
Right.
kid. I mean, I grew up with Pink Floyd. My brothers bought Dark Side of the Moon when it came out in '71, and you know, I've been in love with them since. So it's fun, it's humbling, but it's also it's great material if you can relax enough to just jam on it. Like that's the thing. Like, don't worry so much about playing everything note for note. If you listen to their live material, that's a band that jams. These guys
Right.
are like a blues band. They're just like going to these little riffs, and
They're probably a lot higher than a blues band.
probably. But if you relax,
But not as sad.
if you
Right.
relax enough, you can really have fun with the material, and that's, you know, we started doing this a while ago. So by now, you know, like everything that's on this album, we probably play like 10 times better, but it's still pretty decent, I think. So,
I know I was
get
pretty
better
high.
at it.
I know I was pretty high with the time they came to Camp Randall the second time.
Yeah, I remember that show.
I was at that show. Yeah,
That was a great show.
When you guys made a decision to cover the Bowie, the Floyd, the Doors, and Neil Young, I don't know if there's others, but do you ever worry that you're not going to be able to do the music justice? Does that ever creep into your mind?
I don't think we ever do, but I think we actually, you know, you take it and you turn it.
You make it your own
You
somehow.
make it your own somehow, and
Right.
you try to.
So you're kind of, in a way, you're kind of trying to separate yourself from the original, if you will, and you're really just kind of using it as maybe a blueprint and doing your own.
Well,
I don't know.
I think any
apt description.
band,
I think
you know,
that's
any
pretty good.
band that goes on tour after, like, you know, any tour that's supporting an album, it's like, you know, it's like the fans, there's two camps. It's like they don't play it like they play it on the album, and then there's the it's like, well, no, we took it and we added a saxophone. Go deal with it.
Right.
When I go to see a live show, I'm with you. I don't want to hear what they play on the album because I already have that. I've already heard that a million times by now.
Right. Do something new with it. And we don't always like go off in a crazy direction, but
usually
a lot of that comes with the song selection too. It's like there are certain songs where when we're doing the Doors, they have a bunch of material. Well, Pink Floyd has a bunch of material too. You're listening to the song, you're like, well, we couldn't possibly do this. Like people are all saying like Light My Fire. Oh, you guys should do Light My Fire. How the fuck are you going to do that keyboard part? How am I going to play that keyboard part on my guitar?
People try, no
freaking way. So a lot of it comes down to the song selection. A lot of it because you don't tackle something you don't think you can do, and like some of these charts you look at and you're like, oh, like Childhood Zen, fuck yeah, like we can rock that one out, or like Astronomy Domine, which Pink Floyd opened with at that second Camp Randall show.
Right.
I almost plotzed.
Plots,
because that's an old one. That's like a real old
nice
one. And I saw that first momentary lapse of Reason tour in Milwaukee.
You remember that show? It was
Milwaukee.
No, the second camera. It's like the third time it's come up today on the show.
There.
But it was raining. With the lasers through the rain.
It was like kind of foggy. Yeah.
And the pot cookies the
cookies.
Hello.
Right. Awesome. It was. I think we had a pizza that night with vegetables on it, and we gotta hope Mom isn't listening.
Can I imagine we can knock out things like green peppers and onions?
Yeah, more like tubers, but
nothing wrong with that, man.
But I remember ending up on what is that, Observatory Drive across from Elizabeth Waters, like on the grass, just like lying on the grass, and you could hear it perfectly from there. By the way, we kept kind of like wandering till the sound got like balanced and good, and then we're like, hey, this is a pretty good spot, and we just like looked over the lake. Freaking awesome, man! Nice. It was a really good night. Yep,
that's awesome.
That is fantastic, guys. So, what is on the calendar for El Donk?
Working on it. We're working on it.
Wedding after wedding after
That's
wedding.
Right. Wedding, beer keggers, bar mitzvahs.
Right. They can't get enough of us.
We're going to play a gig at the Blarney Stone in Stoughton at some point. Stoughton. I think we're going to play a show at the Wisco possibly with Kitty Rhombus. But an exciting thing that we're doing now is I'm starting to go back through my archives over the years, over like 10 or so years, and there's a few shows where it's kind of not so much the music, but there's a lot of funny stuff that happens with our sax player and his banter and just like drunk people in the crowd. So I've been kind of going through a bunch of these old shows and like finding like particularly good ones, and I found like 2 or 3 good ones, and we're actually gonna take them into the studio, spiff them up a little bit, maybe edit some songs that aren't so great, and then release them on our website, eldonk.com.
Oh, fantastic.
Awesome,
and I mean, some of this shit is really funny. Like, I was listening to it, and like I call up Baron, like, Baron, you got to hear this Crystal show, man. Oh, my God. It's so freaking funny, So we're kind of like 10 years of playing rock and roll in Wisconsin, and we have the CDs to prove it, So we're going to release some archival material, which is going to be kind of fun, I think, while we're kind of working on our new album. And Mike, we have like over 100. We probably have about 120 songs that we carry around with us. So to learn 120, I mean, Mike probably knew 20 or 30 before he left. So learning that many songs takes a little while.
When you're around as long as you guys are, you accumulate.
Well, and you pick up all the Pink Floyd stuff. We probably have 20 Pink Floyd songs. We have 15 or 20 Doors songs. We have 10 or 15 David Bowie songs, and then just assorted like all the weird shit, Blue Oyster Cult and mashups, and it's never freaking ends.
Up on stage, you keep them like the songs tucked in your sock and just pull them out randomly. There,
we have a
so random.
Last week,
we have a list.
3 songs long was our set list. That's all I got. 3 songs.
We try to pick the first 4, and then we just kind of like roll. We just kind of like go with it. But the thing that sucks though is that you forget. And then the funny thing is, like, you play a 2 or 3 set show, and you're like, wow. And our songs are like short. Our songs are like 3 minutes. So we play like 50, 60 songs in a night, something like that, easily. And then I come home and I'm like, because you're at the end of the night, you're like, oh shit, what should we play? And then I come home and I look at the list and I'm like, oh fuck, we could have played that, we could have played that, we could have played that, we could have played that. Oh, where was that Blue Oyster Cult song, man? What like? So it's just.
If anything, our show should be like 6 hours long.
Oh God.
That's inspiring right there, man.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
exactly.
L Donk, thanks for coming into the Bastard Den today.
you.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
LDonk.com. Is that there it is.
We
That's
update
right.
it
You
once
guys,
a year.
you guys have once a year, if it needs it or not.
Right.
Same with Facebook there, right?
Exactly. My car.
You guys aren't computer guys, all right? You don't get on.
I am,
is.
but
Yeah.
you know they
Why?
don't
That's
pay
the
me
problem.
enough to.
He
do
is,
that.
but we don't pay him enough to,
Oh, okay.
to keep on it. But
Show me the money.
we're there. Yeah, we're there. We're there if you want us.
Pay me in bourbon.
And I mean, but we will be doing something because we're going to be releasing that material once I can get it spiffed. So
I'm excited.
that's going to be fun.
That's gonna be awesome. Keep in
awesome,
touch,
yeah.
guys.
Yep.
Maybe we'll do
Thanks,
something with
guys.
that. We'll play
This
some of
was
that
awesome.
on the Bastard Den.
Yeah, I'll give you. I'll give you the CDs, and then you won't even have to get it off.
You don't
the
even have to
interweb,
sell them to them.
which didn't work. Which didn't work. By
Thank
the way.
you. Appreciate that.
Thank you guys for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
We're gonna play something off the Pink Floyd album. We're gonna play Lucifer Sam.
Officer Sam.
But this is from your 2002 release. Here comes Johnny Law, Bride of Bobby Joe.
It's a true story.
This is a cool song. Turn it up. L Donk in the Bastard at Max Inc. Radio.